blood-soaked white silk, a diamond ring glinting under harsh police lights, a bride strangled on her wedding night. When housekeeping entered the luxurious bridal suite at the Harrington estate, they expected to clean up after celebration. Instead, they discovered Lila Monroe-Harrington's lifeless body, her wedding dress torn, her neck bruised, her future stolen in just hours after saying, "I do." The question wasn't just who killed her, but why the wealthy Harrington family's most glorious day ended in murder. Some families bury their secrets. Others are buried by them. Every relationship built on lies eventually crumbles. But how many end in death? The bride knew this better than anyone. She carried a secret that would devastate 2 generations of Harringtons, a forbidden child with her new father-in-law. Have you ever trusted someone completely, only to discover they've hidden something devastating from you? How far would you go if you discovered your fiancé had a baby with your father? Would rage consume you, or would shock paralyze you? Tonight, we journey through a labyrinth of wealth, betrayal, and vengeance that left a bride dead and a family destroyed. Before we begin, click that subscribe button and notification bell. You won't want to miss what happens when money can't protect you from the consequences of your actions. Welcome to True Crime Hunter, where we expose the darkness that lurks behind closed doors of America's elite. Willow Ridge isn't just a town, it's a hierarchy. At its peak stands the Harrington estate, 10 acres of manicured grounds, a 22,000-square-foot mansion, and 6 generations of power concentrated in one family name. Victor Harrington didn't inherit his billions, he built them. Starting with a single apartment complex at 23, he transformed into the owner of half the commercial real estate on the eastern seaboard by 50. His handshake closed billion-dollar deals, his smile charmed politicians and celebrities alike, and his temper made grown men tremble. Victor wasn't just wealthy, recalled a former business partner. He collected people like others collect art. Everyone had a use, a purpose, a function in his world. The crown jewel in Victor's collection was his only son, Nathan. With his father's sharp jawline and his late mother's gentle eyes, Nathan grew up in climate-controlled privilege. Ivy League educated, groomed from childhood to inherit the Harrington empire, he became the golden prince of Willow Ridge society. Each birthday brought new extravagances. A yacht at 16, a Ferrari at 18, a Manhattan penthouse at 21. But wealth wasn't just Nathan's birthright. It was his prison. Victor controlled everything, from Nathan's investment portfolio to his social circle. Their relationship? Complicated at best. In public, proud father, devoted son. In private, a constant power struggle between Victor's iron grip and Nathan's desperate fight for independence. The Harrington men don't just expect perfection, a family employee revealed. They demand it, from everyone, including each other. No one could have predicted that the ultimate battle between father and son would be fought over a woman, and end in blood. Before Lila Monroe became the future Mrs. Harrington, she was just another aspiring model with fading prospects. At 26, her portfolio grew thin as younger faces replaced hers on casting lists. Her bank account emptied as her bills mounted. "Modeling has an expiration date," confessed her former roommate, and Lila knew her time was running out. Then came the Monarch Foundation Gala, an exclusive charity event where Manhattan's elite paid $10,000 per plate to feel generous while networking. Lila wasn't invited. She was hired, paid to mingle with guests and encourage donations. That night, wearing a borrowed gown and costume jewelry, she caught Victor Harrington's eye across the ballroom. "He approached me with 2 glasses of champagne," Lila later told a close friend. "He asked questions and actually listened to my answers. In a room full of people who looked through me, he saw me." What began as flirtation evolved into secret rendezvous at luxury hotels. For 6 months, Lila lived 2 lives, struggling model by day, billionaire's mistress by night. Victor showered her with gifts, designer clothes, a watch worth more than her annual rent, access to a world she'd only glimpsed from the outside. The affair continued until a missed period changed everything. When I told him I was pregnant, his face changed, Lila confided to her diary. Like a mask slipping. The warmth vanished from his eyes. Victor's solution was coldly efficient. $2 million in exchange for her silence and disappearance. A contract drafted by his attorneys stipulated she could never contact him again or reveal the child's paternity. She signed the papers in tears. Victor never asked about the baby, if she would keep it, what she would name it, whether it would be a boy or girl. 2 days later, Lila Monroe vanished from New York, leaving no forwarding address. The money bought her silence, but not her loyalty. Seattle became Lila's sanctuary. In a modest apartment overlooking Puget Sound, she gave birth to Oliver, a boy with his grandfather's sharp blue eyes and commanding presence, evident even as an infant. He was a Harrington through and through, Lila's midwife recalled. Even at birth, he had this look that seemed to say, "I'm meant for greater things." For 2 years, Lila lived quietly. She invested Victor's money wisely, transformed her appearance with subtle cosmetic procedures, and built a new identity as an art curator. Oliver thrived under the care of Lila's trusted childhood friend, who agreed to raise him while Lila executed the next phase of her plan. That plan led her back to the East Coast, not to New York, but to Willow Ridge, where Victor's son was making headlines as the town's most eligible bachelor. Their meeting seemed like chance, a gallery opening where Nathan bought a painting Lila had selected. Their courtship progressed with calculated precision. Within 6 months, they were inseparable. Within a year, engaged. What began as revenge evolved into genuine affection. Nathan was everything his father wasn't. Thoughtful, generous without expectation, kind without ulterior motives. Lila found herself trapped between growing love for the son and lingering hatred for the father. Every night, she called Oliver secretly, whispering promises of reunion once she secured their future. Would you risk everything for revenge, even when innocent people might get hurt? Have you ever kept a secret so devastating it physically hurt to hold it inside? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and hit that like button if you've ever faced an impossible choice between truth and security. As her wedding day approached, Lila's resolve began to crack under the weight of her deception. June 17th dawned perfect. 75 degrees, cloudless sky, gentle breeze carrying the scent of roses across the Harrington estate. 300 guests arrived through gates adorned with white orchid arches. Crystal chandeliers suspended from transparent tents cast prism-like rainbows across manicured lawns. Ice sculptures, champagne fountains, and a 15-piece orchestra completed the million-dollar spectacle. It wasn't just a wedding, noted one guest. It was a coronation, the official acknowledgement that Nathan and his bride would someday rule Willow Ridge society. Photographers captured the public narrative. Radiant bride in custom Vera Wang, proud groom in Tom Ford, beaming father-in-law hosting Willow Ridge's event of the decade. The album would show perfect smiles, emotional toasts, elegant dances. What cameras missed? Lila's trembling hands during the vows. The way Victor drained his whiskey glass 4 times during dinner. How Nathan's mother, Victor's second wife, observed her husband watching the bride with an intensity that transcended typical father-in-law pride. Victor kept staring at Lila with this look that wasn't quite right, recalled the wedding planner. Not threatening, more desperate. I assumed pre-wedding jitters had everyone on edge. As evening approached, Lila excused herself repeatedly, each return to the reception marked by redder eyes and fresher makeup. Victor's speech slurred slightly as he proposed toasts. Nathan grew increasingly attentive to his father's behavior, his jaw tightening with each glass Victor emptied. By sunset, the celebration continued, but the atmosphere had shifted. Security noticed Victor following Lila with his gaze. The wedding coordinator observed Lila checking her phone obsessively. The bartender reported Nathan requesting information about his father's alcohol consumption. 3 separate timelines converged toward collision. The bride with her revenge, the father with his guilt, the son with his mounting suspicion. As darkness fell across the estate, the facade of perfection began to crack, revealing the fractured reality beneath. The East Wing corridor, lined with centuries-old portraits of Harrington patriarchs, became the stage for destruction. Victor, 6 drinks past coherent, cornered Lila as she returned from a call to her son's caretaker. "You came back to ruin me," Victor hissed, his breath heavy with aged bourbon. "Why him? Why my son?" Lila straightened her spine, pearl earrings catching light as she tilted her chin upward. "You discarded me like garbage. You never asked about Oliver. Not once. Your grandson." "Lower your voice," Victor demanded, gripping her wrist. "We had an agreement. $2 million bought your silence." "It bought time," Lila corrected. "Not forgiveness." Neither noticed Nathan's reflection in the antique mirror, his approach silent, expression transforming from confusion to horror as fragments of conversation reached him. "He deserves to know his father paid off his mistress," Lila continued, twisting free from Victor's grasp. "That the precious Harrington bloodline includes a 2-year-old boy with your eyes." Nathan stepped forward, crystal champagne flute slipping from his fingers, shattering against marble floors. "What did you just say?" The corridor fell silent. 3 staff members froze nearby. A distant cousin paused mid-conversation at the sound of breaking glass. "Nathan," Victor started, attempting damage control. "This isn't—" "My father and my wife," Nathan interrupted, voice hollow. "My father and my wife had a child together." Lila reached toward him. "I plan to tell you after—" "After what?" Nathan's voice escalated. "After securing your position? After legally binding yourself to the Harrington fortune? Was any of it real, or was I just collateral damage in whatever game you're playing with my father?" Security footage captured what followed. Nathan lunging toward Victor, restrained by waitstaff. Lila crying, mascara tracking down porcelain cheeks. Guests gathering, smartphones recording. Victor attempting explanations drowned by Nathan's rage. "You're both dead to me," Nathan declared before storming out, disappearing into the night. But Nathan wasn't the only one who overheard the revelation. Standing just beyond the corridor, Victor's wife, Catherine Harrington, the woman who controlled 40% of the family's voting shares and had battled depression throughout their marriage. The confrontation ended at midnight. By 2 a.m., someone in the Harrington mansion would commit murder. Dawn broke over the Harrington estate as housekeeping entered the bridal suite. The discovery came instantly. Lila sprawled across satin sheets, wedding dress torn at the bodice, diamond necklace missing, ligature marks deep purple against her pale throat. No signs of forced entry. No weapon recovered. Only an overturned crystal vase, water soaking into imported carpet, roses scattered like dropped evidence. Detective Alexandra Reyes arrived at 6:43 a.m., sealing the estate with 30 officers. "The violence suggests intimate rage," she noted. "Strangulation is personal. The killer wanted to watch the life leave her eyes." Crime scene technicians cataloged fingerprints, fibers, and footprints. Medical examiners placed time of death between 1:30 and 2:30 a.m., hours after Nathan's dramatic exit. "We need to locate the groom immediately," Reyes instructed her team, examining broken fingernails, suggesting Lila had fought desperately for her life. "And find out who benefited most from her death." By noon, officers discovered Lila's phone contained deleted messages about a child named Oliver. By evening, they learned of the confrontation between father, son, and bride. By midnight, they traced Nathan's credit card to the Lakeside Motel, 20 miles away. When police knocked on room 114, they found Nathan unconscious, surrounded by empty whiskey bottles and an unsent text message that read, "I can't believe you betrayed me. Both of you will pay." Who killed Lila Monroe on her wedding night? Was it Nathan in a drunken rage? Victor protecting his reputation? Catherine defending her marriage? Or someone else entirely? Comment below with your theory. I read every comment, and the most compelling ones might influence next week's case selection. What evidence would you look for if you were investigating? #Harrington murder trended nationally within hours. Cable networks dispatched crews to Willow Ridge, transforming the quaint town into a media battleground. Morning shows debated motives. True crime podcasts launched Harrington specials. Tabloids offered six-figure sums for insider information. Nathan's perp walk, disheveled, hollow-eyed, escorted by officers, became the defining image of American wealth gone wrong. His booking photo appeared on magazine covers with headlines questioning whether money could buy injustice. The prosecution has a straightforward case, legal analyst Marcus Way explained on CNN. Motive: betrayal by bride and father. Opportunity: despite his exit, cell tower data shows Nathan returned to the estate at 1:15 a.m. Evidence: his DNA under her fingernails, his fingerprints on the doorframe. District Attorney Eleanor Pham built her case methodically. Mr. Harrington discovered his wife's betrayal, left to establish an alibi, returned when witnesses dispersed, and strangled the woman who humiliated him. Defense attorney Joaquin Montez shocked the courtroom by pointing directly at Victor Harrington during opening statements. The most powerful man in the room is often the most desperate when exposed. Victor Harrington didn't just kill his son's bride, he eliminated the mother of his illegitimate child. The turning point came on day 6 of testimony. A lab technician took the stand, presenting DNA results from a toothbrush found in Lila's apartment. The child, Oliver Monroe, is the biological son of Victor Harrington with 99.997% certainty, she testified, causing gasps throughout the courtroom. Catherine Harrington, previously stoic in the gallery, collapsed. Victor's face hardened to granite. And Nathan, for the first time since his arrest, showed emotion, tears streaming silently down his face. As week 2 began, a courthouse employee leaked information to reporters. Police had recovered security footage from a previously unknown camera in the estate's east wing, capturing someone entering the bridal suite at 1:47 a.m. The footage would change everything. The previously undisclosed security footage revealed Catherine Harrington entering the bridal suite at 1:47 a.m. 12 minutes of missing footage followed before she exited holding her diamond necklace, later identified as the missing jewelry from Lila's neck. Not guilty, the foreman announced after 9 hours of deliberation. Nathan Harrington walked free, legally innocent, but forever altered. Outside the courthouse, America divided. Half believed justice was served, pointing to Catherine's motive of rage and betrayal. The other half insisted Nathan's wealth had purchased freedom, questioning how his DNA appeared under Lila's nails if he hadn't attacked her. The truth emerged when Catherine, diagnosed with terminal cancer 3 months later, submitted a sworn confession. I entered the suite to confront her. She attacked first. The strangulation was self-defense that evolved into something worse, into punishment for what she'd done to my family. She died before prosecutors could file new charges. The Harrington empire collapsed within 18 months. Victor resigned amid scandal, his board citing irreparable reputation damage. Shareholders fled. Stock plummeted 87%. The estate sold at auction to cover legal fees. Nathan vanished to Europe, changing his name and abandoning his inheritance. Victor retreated to a remote Montana property, refusing all interviews. And Oliver? Lila's childhood friend adopted him legally, using Victor's original payment to establish a trust fund. He grew up without knowledge of his heritage, protected from the curse of the Harrington name. Wealth and power created the perfect storm of privilege, secrecy, and destruction. If this case fascinated you, smash that like button, share this video with anyone obsessed with true crime, and subscribe for more hidden stories of America's deadliest families. Next week, the hedge fund manager who disappeared with $50 million and 3 hearts in a cooler. Every lie demands another to protect it. The Harringtons built a fortress of deception, each secret stacked upon another until the weight crushed everything they valued. Victor's initial betrayal led to Lila's calculated revenge, which triggered Catherine's violent response, destroying 3 generations, past, present, and future. No villain, no hero, just broken people making catastrophic choices. Did Catherine tell the complete truth in her deathbed confession? Some investigators doubt it. The missing 12 minutes of footage, the unexplained DNA evidence, the inconsistent timeline. Perhaps the full story died with her, another Harrington secret buried forever. Money builds walls but can't fill the spaces between people. The Harringtons possessed everything except honesty, the one thing that might have saved them all. We judge the wealthy as different from us, but their tragedy echoes universal truths. Betrayal wounds deeper from those we love most. No fortune can shield us from the consequences of our actions. And secrets don't disappear. They transform, growing more destructive in darkness. Next Tuesday on True Crime Hunter, the pharmacist's ledger. When a respected community pharmacist disappeared, police discovered his medication logs contained hidden codes revealing which customers he had selected for a terrifying experiment.